Hi everyone and welcome back to Enchanted Reiki. I'm Angel and today I'm going to be talking about Reiki shares. What are they, where you can find them, why would you want to go to one, and what people do at them. So let's start right at the top. So what is a Reiki share? So first of all, a Reiki share is when, it's exactly what it sounds like basically. It's when a group of Reiki practitioners get together and share Reiki. Now there is a way that this works. It's not just standing around, just everyone just pushing Reiki out, and even though that sounds pretty cool as well. But a Reiki share, when people talk about Reiki shares, they're talking about there being a Reiki couch, one or more Reiki couches depending on how many practitioners are attending, and I'd say between 3 and 5, maybe even 6 at a stretch, practitioners around one chair. Everyone takes turn to receive Reiki lying on the couch, and so one person lies on the couch and 3, 4 or 5 people are standing around giving that one person Reiki at the same time. So it's actually quite an amazing experience. It's something that as a practitioner or as a master you should be attending regularly. I attend Reiki shares that are hosted by my Reiki master, the teacher that I learned with, and I also host my own for you know, people that that are kind of my friends, people that find me. I actually have a group on Meetup specifically for Reiki shares. I do hold other events and workshops on there as well, but there are weekly Reiki shares that I host, and I really enjoy doing that. So I'll talk a little bit more about my specific Reiki shares and how you can find that if you'd like to attend at the end of the video. But let's jump into why you would want to attend a Reiki share and what exactly happens at one. So like I said, at a Reiki share, you attend it, there'll be a limit to how many people can attend depending on how many Reiki couches there are available. The one that I go to, that my Reiki master hosts, it's huge. It's in a massive hall. I think he has about 12, 13 couches, so we can have like 80 people sometimes at a time. There's no limit. He doesn't place a limit. Sometimes it does get rather crowded, and I think in the past I've been told that some people have actually had to do their Reiki shares on a chair, which can be done as well. That's fine to do, but that's how crowded sometimes they can get. The ones that I host myself, it's one couch in my therapy room, so I limit the number of practitioners to 5. Maybe it's 6, I don't remember, but I think it's 5. 6 is like kind of pushing it a little bit. But you decide who goes first, and you don't have to decide the whole order of, you know, who's going when, but you just decide who's going to go first. That person lies down on the couch, and everyone else gives them Reiki, and then once the time is up, the Reiki master will say the time is up. The Reiki master usually doesn't participate in the Reiki share because they have to be there to hold the space, to manage the time so that, you know, you're not going over time and some people are not getting less or more. And so the Reiki master will say, okay, time is up, and then everyone will swap. Sometimes there'll be some feedback. Some people will just give a couple of words and say, oh, that was so good, that was amazing. Sometimes, depending on the vibe as well, the smaller the Reiki share, the more calm and chilled out the vibe will be. So a lot of the time, you just kind of swap and be like, you know, you use your indoor Reiki therapy voice, and you'll be like, okay, who would like to go next? And it's all very calm and everything, so everyone takes turn. It's important to realize and remember that the purpose of a Reiki share isn't actually for you to receive a Reiki treatment. If you want a Reiki treatment, there are a few ways you can go about that. You can actually pay a practitioner or a master to give you a Reiki treatment, go for the full treatment, 1 hour or whatever it is, or you can actually do a Reiki swap with another practitioner, which is a really great way of giving and receiving Reiki for free, you know. So you both give up half an hour of your time, 45 minutes, and you exchange Reiki, and that's actually a really beautiful thing to do as well. So during the Reiki share, what generally happens, like I said, is you choose who goes first, and that person lies down. Make sure that, especially if you're on a bigger share where the Reiki master can't go around to every single table and say, do you have a cushion? Are you comfortable? Do you have a blanket? Make sure that at your table, at your group, you are actively making sure that the person lying on the couch is comfortable. It's generally about 10 minutes. The more people you have, of course, the shorter the treatment is for each person. But even if it is only 10 minutes, you do want to make sure the person is comfortable, relaxed, so that they're able to receive Reiki. So if they want a blanket, which most people do, they generally want a blanket, even if it's warm, for the security, because lying down is quite a vulnerable position. So most people will want a thin blanket placed over them, at least just over their lower half. And also be sure to ask, if you are on a couch, if the person has back problems and would prefer to lie face down so that the practitioners can work their hands on the person's back. That's also a really important option as well. Never forget to ask the person if they prefer hands on or hands off. There's nothing worse than everyone going into silence as everyone starts to connect to Reiki, and I'll tell you why I don't like that term in a moment. I think if you watch my What is Reiki video, you'll know I'm not keen on that term, but I do use it because it is very accessible and very simple. But there's nothing worse than, you know, going full swing and then realizing, oh, I don't know if I should be putting my hands directly on the person or a few inches away. So make sure you ask the person every time a new person lies down, say, would you prefer hands on or hands off? Most of the time people will say they don't mind, so then it's entirely up to you as the practitioner to decide what you want to do. Of course, you don't ever want to touch a woman in the chest area, and you don't want to touch anyone in any sort of private intimate areas. That's completely hands off, 100%, no matter what the circumstances are. Even if they are your spouse or your other half, Reiki is it's not that kind of vibe that you're bringing. It's a different energy that you're working with. That's not the kind of thing that we're doing when we're doing Reiki. It's a relaxing, healing vibe, and that's what you just want to stick to. That you want to be professional. Some Reiki shares, I've been told, and I don't like this whatsoever, I've been told that some people go to Reiki shares and they're told where to stand. So for example, if there are 4 practitioners around a table, one lying down, one will be told to stay around the head area, one will be told to stay around the feet area and legs, and the other person will be told to stay around the chest. I'm not keen on this, and I don't implement this in my Reiki shares. I tell the practitioners, please freely move around wherever you want. I don't say, okay, now you can move to the next position. I don't do any of that. If someone wants to stay for 10, 15 minutes at the chest, that's entirely up to them. If someone wants to move to 5 different places over the space of 10 minutes, again, that's entirely up to them. Doing it this way enables the practitioner to tap into their own intuition and allow Reiki and their higher mind to guide them to where they feel the person lying on the couch needs the Reiki. And I think it's really important to allow practitioners the freedom to do this. And as the practitioner going to a Reiki share, it's important for you to be able to access this part of your mind and tap into it and utilize it when you're giving a Reiki treatment to someone. Because a lot of the time, we're not actively working as Reiki practitioners, so a lot of the time the only chance that someone gets to give Reiki is at a Reiki share. Sometimes you don't have friends and family that want to receive Reiki, and you're only doing it on yourself, and it's very different. You know, giving yourself a self-treatment is very different than giving someone else a treatment. So this could be someone's only opportunity to give someone else a treatment, so you want to let them, or let yourself, if you're the one at the Reiki share, be able to tap into, you know, your intuitive mind and let the Reiki guide you. If you do attend a Reiki share where it is very strict and you're told to stay in one spot, don't argue. You've attended someone else's share and that's their rules, so of course you want to be respectable and you want to stick to their rules. It's fine. But if you don't like that, no need to say anything, just simply don't attend again. Some people, I'm sure, enjoy that sort of way of treating people, and perhaps they enjoy I don't even know, like, I'm struggling with this because I can't imagine someone, to be honest, really enjoying being told where to stay, and I don't see it as beneficial. That's my truth and my opinion. However, some people may prefer that, just being told where to go so that they don't have to use their intuition. but I feel that this doesn't help with your spiritual growth, and it doesn't help to elevate your Reiki practice either. So at the end of the Reiki Share, it's really important, if you are thinking of hosting your own Reiki Share as a practitioner or as the master, to be there and not rush off. The reason why I say this is important, even if you are just a practitioner, the fact that you're holding a Reiki Share, people would generally feel that they want to come to you if they have any questions about Reiki. They will think of you as having more experience, and you can have more experience as a Reiki 2 practitioner than a master. If a person is trained to Reiki master level but hasn't actually utilized their training, hasn't actually been practicing every day, a Reiki 2 or even a Reiki 1 practitioner could be a lot more advanced, could have a stronger control of Reiki, and could be simply more experienced. So it's important to stay there, not just kind of rush off and leave everyone to pack up and everything. It's important to stay there to the end, because I find that there are generally people that have questions and they don't necessarily relate to the Reiki share that you've just had. Sometimes people have questions about Reiki in general that have been on their mind for days or even weeks, and they just want to ask someone who they feel has more experience than them. And generally, if you're hosting a Reiki Share, people will just feel that you have more experience. Also, coming from the other side as well, if you are attending a Reiki Share, you should feel that you are able to go up to the Reiki practitioner or master hosting the share and ask them questions. The fact that they are hosting a Reiki Share, to me, demonstrates that they are very much active in the Reiki community. And even if this isn't necessarily in an extroverted way, being in contact with loads of different other masters or attending events, workshops and talks and seminars, they are active in a sense where they themselves have an active practice, and therefore you should be able to go to them and ask questions, and they should be able to give you an honest answer, or at least tell you that they don't know, and perhaps you can find the answer yourselves together. Or they may be able to ask a friend or their teacher and then come back to you with the answer if possible. So why would you want to attend a Reiki Share in the first place? Well, for some people it could be their only opportunity to practice Reiki on someone else. And of course, the more you practice Reiki, the more stronger and more powerful your ability to channel Reiki becomes. And you'll find that you just feel more confident within yourself. And this is why I encourage everyone to attend a Reiki Share, whether you are just starting out or whether you're at master level and you have been for 30 or 40 years. It's so important to attend a Reiki Share for the purpose of practicing in that sort of environment. Even if you are practicing by giving Reiki to clients, whether you have your own business or you do it at home every day for your children or your spouse or your pets or your plants or your food, it's really important to go to a Reiki Share. You get that kind of energy that you don't get with a one-to-one Reiki treatment. I think it's essential as well as a Reiki practitioner to be able to socialize with other like-minded people, whether they are at a lower level than you. And I don't really like to say lower level, but you know what I mean. Like if you're Reiki 2, it's good to socialize with Reiki 1 as well as Reiki masters. Everyone really is the same. No one is better than anyone else. It's just some people have had a little bit more training and some people have practiced a little bit more, and so they just have had more practice, and therefore their Reiki is a little bit stronger and it's a bit easier to tap into. Now, socializing with others is a great thing to do when you are lacking motivation. You could find that if you are just by yourself and you're practicing by yourself, your Reiki practice can become very boring, very stale and very predictable if every day you're doing your 5 minutes of self-treatment and reciting your Reiki principles, but there's not much else going on. So it's not even the act of being giving someone else Reiki or the act of doing the Reiki Share. It's actually just being around other Reiki practitioners, their energies, their vibe. It can really help to motivate and uplift you. And even if we're not talking about Reiki, just in general, you'll find that people that are drawn to Reiki are usually very positive, very their vibration is usually held quite high, and even when they're low, there is something very pleasant about being around someone who is a Reiki practitioner, and it's not because they are Reiki practitioners, but they've become Reiki practitioners because of their energy, because of their vibe. There's just a certain type of person that is drawn to Reiki, so I highly encourage everyone to hang around Reiki practitioners. It really is just very, very wonderful. And lastly, another reason why you may want to attend a Reiki Share is if you are preparing for your Reiki diploma, or your Reiki master is requiring you to complete a number of Reiki sessions that you give to someone else or that you receive. This is also perfect as well, because essentially if you are around a couch with 4 other people, you're giving 4 treatments and you're receiving 4 treatments. It's perfect. It's not timed. There is no time limit usually on these things. They just want to know how many people you've given Reiki to, just to show that you are putting in the effort and are getting your practice in. Now, just before I talk about my Reiki shares, I do want to make it clear that most practitioners and most Reiki Share hosts will charge a small fee to cover the cost of tea and coffee if they're providing that, if it's a longer share, but more importantly, the actual space that they are using. Most places won't be in someone's home, and even if it is in someone's home, you do want to compensate them. You know, you are coming into their home or into their space, their hired space, whatever it is, and they are paying for that space, so it's only fair to contribute what you can. Now, I charge a certain amount, but I do offer discounts. And also, I have never turned away anyone who has not been able to afford to attend a Reiki Share. It's an optional fee. Even if I don't say it's optional, if someone does say to me, I can't afford the £4, that's how much it costs for my Reiki Shares, then I'll say, you know, just come, it's fine. And 9 times out of 10, the person will actually pay when they can afford it, which I don't ask for. I don't mind, it's not a problem, but I'm not going to turn down their money if they eventually find that they can pay for it, because that puts them in a place that makes them feel uncomfortable. And even though I don't necessarily need or want the money, I don't want them to feel like they have taken advantage of me. I don't want them to feel that they owe me anything. So just bear that in mind. Most Reiki Shares won't be free, but it's just a very small fee. I think mine is on the lower end. I have 2 different types of Reiki Shares. I have a 1 hour where it's just a quick Reiki Share that you come in, you do the Reiki Share, and we will go to a cafe for a little social. I'm not sure that this is a common thing, by the way. I chose to do this because I like to be there for my practitioners. I'm there, my room, I have to give up my room at a certain time, so I have to be out. So this just gives us an option to go and talk, and gives everyone the chance to be able to ask me any questions. And then at the end of the month, once a month, I will have a longer Reiki Share. It's about 2 hours long. That one's £10, and that one we cover not just the Reiki Share, but there is a self-treatment, a guided meditation. I give everyone a Reiju, which is just a Reiki blessing, and also we get to have a nice discussion as well. And then we also have the option to go to the cafe at the top of the road. It's very, very close. And that's always a lot of fun as well. It's a little tea shop, and everyone loves it. It's so much fun and just such a wonderful experience. And I'm so happy that I decided to do this at the end of the Reiki Shares, because everyone has socialized, everyone gets along so well. And because my Reiki Shares are only around 1 couch, it's a maximum of 6 people at a time. Usually we don't reach that. It's for maybe 3, 4 or 5 people. And so everyone really does get to socialize together. It's not small groups having different conversations. It's one group having one conversation. And it's just such a fun experience. So if you would like to attend my Reiki Share and get the experience, my Reiki Shares take place in Hammersmith, London on Tuesday afternoon, roughly around noon time, depending on the share. They finish at about 2 p.m. so they start at either 1 or 12 and finish at 2. Like I said, the quick share, the 1 hour one, is £4, the extended one is £10. I'll leave a link in the info bar below to my meetup group. That's generally where people can reserve their space and find out more information and everything. So yeah, it's a great Reiki Share, and I do highly recommend it. It's in a community centre, and it's just very, very friendly. The whole atmosphere is very chilled, laid back, and very healing, and it's quite beautiful. But like I said, I'll leave the info in the description below, and I hope this kind of guide to Reiki shares and why you'd want to attend and everything, I hope that was useful to you. So please give this video a thumbs up if it was useful to you, and make sure that you subscribe and hit the notifications bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.